So the guy's walking one step, then he uses the light and he's walking one step and the battery's going low and he's got to, he doesn't, and then the news comes. You are going to have gardens at the bottoms of which rivers are flowing. You've heard this your entire life. But when you're walking on Judgment Day towards paradise and you haven't seen it yet, and then you hear gardens are ahead with rivers flowing. Can you imagine that scene? Congratulations, people. You people have gardens, at the bottoms of which, by the way, rivers are flowing, and you will stay there forever. You feel like this walk is forever. And you're being told, you're going to stay there forever. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. That is the ultimate success. Now, يَوْمَ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ. There's Iman, strong. I told you two levels of Iman, right? Intellectual and the qualitative. Quantitative and qualitative. But you know what? If you don't take care of your qualitative Iman, and you only have intellectual Iman, that's called weak Iman. And if you let your Iman stay weak long enough, then it starts dipping down into nifaq, hypocrisy. You don't want it to go to there. So there's strong faith, there's weak faith, and then the level underneath that is hypocrisy. And the warning is, if you're in weak faith right now, that means you're in dangerous territory, which means the only one step below, and where will you be? You'll be in nifaq. You don't want to be there. Let me tell you about the people of nifaq. يَوْمَ يَقُولُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتِ. The day on which the hypocritical men and women are going to say, لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, to those who believe, انظُرُونَ, look towards us, wait for us. So everybody's walking towards Jannah. The hypocrites are being left behind a little. This is phase 2 of Judgment Day, by the way. The disbelievers have already been discarded. They're already in hellfire, they've been thrown in. Now there is only who left? Believers and hypocrites. And they're marching their way towards Jannah. And because the believers have light coming out of them, they know where to go, so they're moving a little quickly. And by the way, do they have motivation to move quickly? Sure. They sure do. So they're rushing, and then the announcement is made, Jannah. Like, oh, and they're making a dash for it. Now who doesn't have light? Hypocrites don't have a light. They don't have a light. They had fake Iman. They didn't have real Iman. Maybe at some point they had an intellectual faith, but even that was lost because of they didn't take care of their hearts. So there's no light coming out of their chest because the heart was void. And as a result, the deeds were meaningless because the deeds are nothing if they're not good with good intentions in the heart. So if the heart is hard, then the deeds are worthless. So there's no light with these guys. Now if you're in a dark place and you're walking, some people have torches, you don't have a torch. What do you want to do? Stay close to the people with the torch. You could see some of the light with them. Now if you get left behind and you realize you can't see them anymore, they call out, hey, wait. نَقْتَبِسْ مِن نُورِكُمْ. Qabas in Arabic is a borrowed flame. Like Indiana Jones style, you take your torch and you light the other, or you light your torch with something. So that's basically, can we borrow some of your light? Can we have some of your light so we can have light for ourselves? قِيلَ, it will be said to them. Allah doesn't even say that the Muslims will turn back to them and say. Allah says, qila, shh, over there, shh. Don't cry. Stop crying. Okay, bye. Okay. Qila, it will be said. Allah doesn't even say believers will say it to them. Because that would make it seem like believers are like concerned. An announcement is made. Just like Bushrakumul Yawm, we weren't mentioned, the qa'il, the speaker wasn't mentioned. Just like that, an announcement is made. Irji'u wara'akum. Go back behind you. Turn around and go back. فَالْتَمِسُوا نُورًا. الْتَمَسَ يعني طَلَبًا. Go find light. Go seek it out. Get it somewhere else. This light ain't for you. Go get your own light. These guys are in the utter dark, and they're told, turn around. Go find your own light. فَضُرِبَ بَيْنَهُمْ. But they don't listen. They still want to try to catch up to the believers, right? Because turning back, they realize what that means. So what does Allah say? فَضُرِبَ بَيْنَهُمْ بِسُورٍ. Then between them, a wall will be dropped. A large wall. Sur, from which we also get surah. Surah is large walls that encircle a city. It's not the wall in your backyard. It's not the fence wall. It's the large, Assassin's Creed wall. Big giant wall, can't scale it, etc. Okay? That wall. That kind of huge damn wall will be dropped between them. Lahu bab, which has a door. Lahu bab. Why even mention a door? Ulama comment, there are different levels of munafiqun and people of weak iman. There may be those the Messenger describes, alayhi salatu wasalam, people that will burn in hellfire for some time and then eventually make their way to paradise. Well, how are they going to get to paradise if this gigantor wall is there? What's in that wall? A door. There's still some way. But, and some argue, no, this door is mentioned, so it adds to their hope, so they try to open it and realize they won't open. So it's like insult to injury. بَاطِنُهُ فِيهِ الرَّحْمَةِ. On the other side of it, the side you can't see, there is mercy. وَظَاهِرُهُ. And the obvious side, where these people are at, مِنْ قِبَلِهِ الْعَذَابِ. From the other side of it, is all there is punishment. يُنَادُونَهُمْ. They're going to start calling out from the wall. Now walls don't have ceilings, so you can still hear on the other side. So they start yelling and screaming, أَلَمْ نَكُمْ مَعَكُمْ. Weren't we with you? We were with you. We went to the same school, man. Remember? Mudaf ilayh. You and I were like mudaf and mudaf ilayh, inseparable. Nothing comes between us. What happened today, man? I used to be at the masjid too. I was a believer too. Abdullah ibn Ubay was at the first rows of the masjid. When I went to Masjid al-Nabawi for Fajr, I got to the masjid before the adhan, started walking, prayed some sunnah, kept walking, iqamah was given, I was not even halfway into the masjid. Not even halfway into the masjid. My intention was to try to follow the janazah into Jannatul Baqi'. If you're up ahead, you can follow it. But man, you're like, way back there. In the hallway you have to pray. And you're like, man, these munafiqun, they were in the front row. Behind Rasulullah, not Shaykh Hudayfi. Behind Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and yet they're munafiq. And Allah now, أَلَمْ نَكُمْ مَعَكُمْ. Weren't we with you? قَالُوا بَلَى. Of course you were. Why not? I remember you. وَلَكِنَّكُمْ فَتَنْتُمْ أَنفُسَكُمْ. You put yourselves in trial and difficulty. You put yourselves in tribulation. The shaitan didn't put you in difficulty, you put yourself in difficulty. Fitna is a difficult test. You attacked yourselves. You were given the same motivation we were given. You were given the same reminders we were given. You didn't translate any of that into action because you said, So now what is the explanation of you put yourselves in difficulty, in fitna, in tribulation? وَتَرَبَّصْتُمْ. You procrastinated. Tarabbus, wait and see. We'll see. We got time. I got time. I'll change. I know I have to do things. I have to make changes in myself. It can wait. One of my teachers, Dr. Isar Ahmed, very wise man. Very, very wise man. He described the struggle for our religion one time to me. It's stuck in my head still, because I've never found a more comprehensive view of struggle in our faith. You have a seed. You have to water it. You have to give it sunlight. You have to keep the soil soft. You have to keep it away from weeds. You have to take care of that seed so that the plant can grow. But growing the plant isn't the goal. The goal eventually is that the plant grows big enough that it turns into a tree. And that tree bears fruit. And the fruit benefits others. You understand? We have to take care of ourselves. I have to make a list of things that I don't like about myself as a Muslim. As a Muslim. There's some problems I have. There are some things I wish were different about me. And I have to plant that seed, and I have to water it, and I have to take care of myself. And when I do, I will develop. And only when I develop to a certain point, will I truly be able to benefit anybody else. Our deen wants us to benefit others. But you can't benefit others until if you're still a seed, and you haven't been watered, and you haven't grown, you haven't matured, then what benefit are you going to give anybody else? You can't. But then there are some whose entire life is spent watering and raking and watering and raking. And when you say, what about benefiting somebody else? No, I got more watering and raking to do. That's fake spirituality. That's fake. Our deen is not just about ourselves. You and I will be working on ourselves our entire lives. But while we are working on ourselves, there will be a point where you will realize you have to be honest to yourself. Is there something you can benefit somebody else with? And if so, do it. You have to do it. You can't say, oh, somebody, inshallah, there's somebody else out there that can do it. No. You have to take a step. You have to stand up and do it. But at the same time, you don't forget your own spiritual needs. These people, tarabbastum, I got time. There's no hurry, no rush to change myself, no rush to, what's the big deal? We got time. Wartabtum, there's no sense of urgency. And as a result of you procrastinating, your iman got so weak, you started falling into doubt. Now we're learning something very, very powerful. When you don't move forward in the path of Allah, your qualitative iman weakens. And when it weakens to a point, it starts messing with your quantitative iman. You start having doubts about Islam altogether. That starts happening. When people are in that state today, they are in that state, so many, because something qualitative is missing. And then it leads them to question the very foundations of their faith. وَغَرَّتْكُمُ الْأَمَانِي. And false hopes deluded you. What are these false hopes that delude people? Oh, things will work out in the end. Allah's not going to throw everyone in hell. I mean, there's so many more people that are much worse than I am that deserve hell. So why would He come after little old me for my little old laziness at Fajr? It's not that big of a deal. At least I make it up. Wishful thinking. Then there are other wishful thoughts. Forget about having aspirations in akhirah. Your only aspirations become dunya. From one promotion to the next. From one set of savings to the next. From one investment to the next. From one workout routine to the next. That's all you become. That's all you amount to. These are your aspirations in life. حَتَّى جَاءَ أَمْرُ اللَّهِ. Until the decision of Allah came. وَغَرَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. And the most deceptive one, the extremely deceptive one got the best of you. Meaning shaitan, Iblis, got the best of you. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْكُمْ فِدْيَةٌ. Then on that day, no ransom will be accepted from you. How much time do I have, Naeem? 25 minutes? I can survive 25 minutes? That's what it says? Okay, we're going to go by it. Okay. فَالْيَوْمَ لَا يُؤْخَذُ مِنْكُمْ فِدْيَةٌ. On that day, no ransom will be accepted from you. وَلَا مِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Nor from those who've disbelieved. Now you've been bunched together with those who disbelieve. مَأْوَاكُمُ النَّارِ. Your final place of refuge is fire. هِيَ مَوْلَاكُمْ. It is the one that is going to protect you now. It is the one that will guard you now. وَبِئْسَ الْمَصِيرِ. And what a horrible place of final return that is. أَلَمْ يَأْنِي